It's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Yes, people. Obviously, I know this is a different setup, but you know, big up to the community. Big up to the two guests today. Of course, we've got the iBoxingHub family representing. So we've got Neutral, aka Jim Watt of iBoxingHub, and we've also got Abbas, the man Eunice from STAYWEIGHEDIN. So we've got the family today to just review a tremendous weekend. So lads, hope you guys are well. Obviously, it's just straight after the England game as well. So Abbas, I know you're buzzing. Neutral's just neutral with the whole situation. But lads, how are you doing?
I let Neutral go.
Go ahead, Neutral. Thanks. Start us off.
I'm doing great, thanks, Abbas. I'm very, very pleased for the England team and the fans. Of course, half of my family are England fans, so I've got to go along with it. But no.
No, you have to. You must love him.
I know that. But no, it is.
Yeah.
The country needs a boost in these difficult times. So, yeah, I'm very happy. But it's been a great week of boxing, nonetheless.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I was just trying to echo everything Neutral says. Like, just good vibes. Yeah, echo Neutral's sentiment. Just very good vibes all around. And like I said, great night of action yesterday as well. Very late night. I have to say, it's super late, but very good fun.
Early for us. Early hours of the morning for us. Look, the watch along yesterday. And obviously, look, yeah, it's finished at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. But look, before we obviously get into the events, of course, firstly, because you both are here, firstly, obviously, you've got to do the shout outs, of course, man. So big up firstly to obviously D-Rock. We're working in association with them. So guys, if you're not taking advantage of the discount code, take advantage. You've got Joseph Parker, Johnny Nelson, a legend. And normally Jams is in the chat as well. He's obviously endorsing the brand as well. And guys, iBoxingHub 24 gets you folks. Go into the description and, you know, simply just click on the link and just take advantage, guys. But yeah, so Abbas, obviously you're here firstly as well. Have to do the shout outs for yourself as well. And Ray, you obviously did a tremendous roundup of these weeks as well. So guys, if you haven't seen that episode, make sure you head over to the show and yeah, just tune in. Obviously, big up to Jams as well. And congratulations to Biyenge on his baby boy incoming, even though he's not here today. Yeah, so Biyenge's not here today because his wife's obviously it's her birthday today, so he's treating her, you know, doing a little something. So he's got a day off. So that's why I've got these lads here to, you know, entertain, you know, the community so we can talk about some great things in boxing, of course. And Neutral, big up to you as well. You obviously did the watch along yesterday. So guys, make sure you just tune into the watch along as well. So guys, I've actually got a quick clip from the watch along just so you can get a feel of the action and just see the guy at his work as well. So big up to Jim Watt.
His amateur fight for his life. He knows his belt is on the line in this last 2 rounds. We're all getting ready, and you've got David Diamantine saying, "The fight starts now!" How about a round of applause? Put that right hand palm is down. Estrada caught him with the right hand and put palm down. But he's laughing, he's back up on his feet. Six up. The most tremendous pressure on Estrada, and he's got him with a body punch, and he's down Estrada. He's not getting up from this. He is hot. He is hot bad. He's rolling on the floor. The referee has counted him out. It was stoppage Bye, bam.
And big up to Neutral. Thank you so much once again for blessing the community with your energy, your vibes, and it was just tremendous, man. And big
Come
up to
on.
Jab.
Come
As you
on.
say, I was shocked when Bam went down. Great performance. Yeah, the Warrior. Yeah, of course, man. Big up to you, and big up to True Media Boxing Radio as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. But lads, let's head over obviously to the first event of the night. It was obviously the Takeover. He's back. He obviously got his victory. It was a tough opponent. It was a tough night as well. And Neutral, you obviously said it best yesterday. He gained your respect, Steve Glaggett, and you're now a fan of his because Tio had to work his ass off to get that victory. So Neutral, start us off, man.
Well, obviously, a lot of people were not happy about Steve Claggett appointment for that fight, but those who know boxing very well, and this kid not lost in 9 years, got 7 defeats on his record. That all happened a long time ago. So this guy's evolved, and I just had a feeling in that before the fight that he would pose problems for Tio, and was such the case that it proven to be. And I've just felt that his footwork and his pressure work was superb, Stevie Claggett. Sometimes you got too close and let Tio counter him off the ropes. Tio was doing that for 9 rounds, easily fighting off the ropes. Much to the point it was annoying me. Get off the ropes, get in that middle, show him what you can do. But once again, Tio, for me, he doesn't look for that knockout as such. If it comes, it comes. But what I saw from Tio and what greatly impressed me was he knows what he needs to do to win the fight. He doesn't have to, fancy show, does the show button, but he doesn't, he throws with it, he'll engage. And yeah, that was a very soft fight. Steve Claggett is surprise a few people in the future. I think his next fight, whoever he comes up with, is not going to be wanting to fight no Steve Claggett. And I defy any of the 140 pounders to come out and say that that'd be an easy fight. There's no danger. He fought really well. Chin, heart, grit. What Canada's made of them harsh mountains over there. They got mooses and mountains, and they come through. And Stevie Claggett showed all of that. He was like a bear, and yeah, great performance. And Tio, yeah, I want to sum that up. I just felt that was his best performance to date at 140. Even though he beat Josh Taylor, quite convincingly, this was not convincing. That guy, Steve Claggett, in my opinion, would have beat Josh Taylor. Oh, yes, without a doubt. That energy that he brought was fantastic to Tre and Abbas, and I thoroughly enjoyed on that, clicking on that fight. Really good.
Wow, yes, and Abbas, like yourself, we're big fans of the Takeover, of course,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to get your perspective on what you thought about the performance. Was it something that he could build from, and who potentially would you want him to have next, man, as well after this?
So this is the thing. In terms of opponents, from the top of my head, I can't really think because we're at a point where the 140 division. Obviously, we know what's happening with Devin Haney. In some ways, you got Jack Cattrall just floating around, obviously fighting Progress and stuff like that. So I can't really think from the top of my head in terms of a direct opponent. What I will say about Teofimo Lopez is, look, a lot of people get on him because he can't finish his opponent. And I understand it. But he's put it on the performance to get him the job done. And sometimes people will say, okay, we need the victory, but we need it with a knockout. But would you rather take a risk and not get knocked out versus just putting on a show? I do personally believe, and it's a bit of a push maybe for some people to say as well, I don't think the power's there for Tio at 140. I know he's making some silly requests at 147 and stuff of that nature. I think Bob Arum might have hinted at that as well. And I think I understand the concept of moving up divisions, becoming multitude world champion, etc. But when you might have the skill set, but when you don't have the power to also meet that skill set, it's not going to look as good, and it's just going to look a bit forced. I do want Tio to fight somebody, maybe I would say a bit more credible, because I've always said this about Teofimo Lopez. When he fights as an underdog, he will fight with a purpose. When he fights as a favorite, he'll fight as an exhibition fighter. And I think if you look at how Tio has been throughout his, not necessarily his career, but since that Lomachenko fight going forward, that's kind of been his trajectory, in the sense of, like I said, Josh Taylor was the underdog. Went out there, did a job. When he fought Kambosos Jr., didn't really step up to the mark at 135, lost. Then his first fight at 140, you see that that clip, do I still got it type of thing, where he's doubting himself. Again, was the favorite. Didn't really showcase much to us. So I think, for me, when you look at Teofimo Lopez, it's that whole thing. Don't run before you can walk type of thing. Don't run to 147. Hone yourself a bit more at 140. Let's see what the punching power really is at, because I don't think he really has it. But he's able to also balance that out with the skill set. I see Jam saying Liam Paro. I hear it. Let me see what Bob Arum wants to do with fighting, using his American boxers again. Because I think if they make this fight and it's going to go in Australia, it's going to be one of them things again where it's a Bob Arum fighter fighting a bro type of thing. And you know how he was last time with Taylor Cattrall. Will he want to risk his fighter there? Potentially not. So he's in an interesting boat, but great win for him in the sense of how he showcased. But I do think now we can potentially question, does he have the punching power at 140 to get knockouts?
No, definitely. As you can see here, he did land, some heavy shots as well. But to be fair, Neutral also said it best as well. In these 7 losses, he's only, he's not been knocked down from that, I believe, isn't it, right, Neutral? You mentioned that. He's quite a durable opponent, durable fighter as well. He came to fight, plenty of energy. And I just think he was one of those people on the night where he's going to be awkward for all of these top guys, because I think I mentioned it on the watch along that he throws minimum 500 plus punches. That's minimum. He's
and
he's coming in with a lot of energy, confidence, no fear. Yeah.
When these scorecards come in, when them scorecards come in, and it was like Teal's won like 9 rounds out of the 12 or 10 rounds, I had to question that, because a guy can't throw 600 in excess of 650 punches, landing with 40% of them, and not win more than 3 rounds. I don't believe this punch starts for Teal one bit, that over 800. Just don't believe that. For me, there was plenty of rounds where he was caught so many times, and retaliation was a problem for him. But however, having said that, I'll come back to my original point. He's a very clever boxer with a high IQ. A worrying defense, drops his hands so low during that fight that he's a target. I mean, if you had a defense, for me, Teofimo Lopez, regarding his power, and I quite understand that, Abbas, but he has the skill set to win fights as he sees fit. He doesn't, 135, good power. 140, well, he's not had that transferable power from 135 to 140 yet, but due to the high nature of the competition at 140. So it's not fair on a boxer to always be, I think, looking at a knockout. But if you're a Shakur Stevenson, you're not really a knockout merchant, are you? You're not a tank. Pitbull Cruz, for me, would be a fantastic unification fight for Teo. And maybe then on to, like you said, Abbas Liam Paro, down the line. I would rather much Teo stay at 140 and try to unify. I think I completely agree. 147 could be a ceiling, and maybe bigger guys at 147 that would probably have a better skill set, i.e. Boots. I think he could beat Barrios. Barrios for me is just there for the team.
I think one thing I just want to say, sorry, to echo Neutral's point, is for Claggett, he's put himself in that window where it's like, now we can get one of our main guys to fight him, and it's a reputable fight. It's one that can sell to a point in terms of tickets and stuff. And if you are looking for an opponent, there's a new name, or not necessarily a new name, but a name that, because he's fought Teofimo Lopez, he's gone the distance with him. It becomes a reputable name. So for Claggett, like you said, he's put himself right in the window for another main card fight, main eventing type of fights. And I think that's where, when you look at these type of fights, even though the champion may not necessarily fully deliver, what the opposition is, it shops them right in the window, even with a particular loss as well.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. And look, I don't want to keep the people hanging, of course. And big up to everyone that's getting involved in the chats as well. So I'm just going to run through a few of them as well. So big up to Jams. Jams is obviously saying it's another Cambosis potential fight, to be honest. I'm not too sure about that. Claggett put it right on T.O. T.O. dealt with it. The only beef I have with T.O. is that he was putting himself on the ropes. And yeah, which is fair. Calling out Bud Crawford is an absolute joke, as Bud would dismantle him very quickly. And big up to Lucy all the way from the States. We're loving your vibe, loving your energy. Thank you so much for tuning in. She's obviously agreeing that Crawford would beat the hell out of Teofimo, and obviously Ra joining us. Thank you so much for tuning in, Ra. Our brother from the R&R Hour will punch out boxing, so make sure you tune into what he's doing as well. But
yeah, lads, here.
It's crazy. Yeah, look, Ra, you've got the link. You
and Jams, get them up here.
Us. Yeah, you should be even. So look, big up, Ra. Hope you're well. So everyone's just pretty much just talk. Oh, Matthias will need a fight coming back after a loss. Matthias versus Claggett would be a good fight. I think that would be a fun fight. That would be a really good fight. Big up, Jams. Full on summer mode. He's loving it.
It's a good shout.
It is a good shout. Well, guys, before we obviously go into the next topic, Matthias versus Claggett, do you think that would be a good comeback fight for both guys after they've lost, both of them?
Absolutely. You both come off shocking losses. Subriel Matthias especially, being the champion. I'm surprised that a rematch wasn't written into the contract, but that's usual Eddie Hearn. We're too confident. We don't need that to write this one in. But big up Paro. He's now put himself massively in the shop window for a unification. The only thing is, though, with the IBF, they do like to throw mandatories at you very quickly. So that'll be an interesting subject to go on ahead.
Look, Razi is saying we need a 140 tourney, which would be interesting as well. And big up to Stick and Mr. Styles 619 as well, who's obviously tuned in. Big up to you all the way from Canada. Lads, I'm absolutely just loving the energy here. Look, Raz obviously saying he's done with Reader. My next target is Bam versus Nakatani. Look, that could happen.
Happening. We do have a prize fighter event happening, I believe, in Japan as well. So
yes,
I've always liked the prize fighter, the concepts back in the day with Sky Sports and stuff like that. So I'm so down for stuff like that as well. It just makes a super good, fun night of action. So prize fighter 140, I'm down for that as well.
Oh, look, he's also saying congratulations on England advancing. Now, big up to you. Big up to you. Let's see how far they go. Of course, we're not holding our breath when it comes to England, but look, let's see where they go. Of course, man. But
they got an easy game next, I believe.
Who's the potential opponent?
Isn't it? Switzerland in the quarterfinal. Mind you, they're playing really well as a team, so England will have to be on there.
Look, Switzerland. Everyone's confirming that. Look, lads, we had. I don't even know how to describe this. Like, Neutral, you mentioned that this fight yesterday was truly special, tremendous. Abbas, you obviously said it best in a watch along as well. We have a star in our eyes, of course, and it was a big event. The reason why the event was big is because you've got Mexico, in a way, versus Mexico. I know, Neutral, you've got your things about Bam being American, but his heritage, we know it's Mexico, man. So this was a tremendous bout. We saw a young king facing the old king, and in a way it was the passing of torch, of course. We saw plenty of action, of course. We saw knockdowns after knockdowns. We saw absolutely everything. Even Bam at one point was on the ground as well. So, guys, look, just Abbas, start us off, man. Like you set the pathway perfectly for us, man. So
I'm gonna just say it. We've seen a lot of performances in 2024 so far that stand out. This is there. If not, this might be the best one outside of, I guess you could say, Usyk Fury, because of what that fight particularly meant. I honestly believe this was it, because from round 1 to round 7, action on action on action, and Bam Rodriguez was sensational for 6 out of 7 rounds. For 6 out of 7 rounds, he was sensational. The one round he was dropped, he even said it post-fight. He goes, look, it was a flash shot. He got me. It was fine. I didn't really feel it, and you could tell because of the way he reacted to it, because it was so early in the round. Normally, if a fighter's dropped, you're like, oh, could be on the back foot type of thing. But no, he was on the front foot from minute 1. You could see the way he was dictating the pace. His power was there. And in a way, I know this is going to sound overly critical, I honestly believe he could have got him out there earlier. I believe he could have actually got, because he was landing shots, Estrada was hitting the ropes, bouncing up, and I just thought you could actually get him out earlier. But the way he did it, it was calm, collective. He was like, you guys keep talking about these pound for pound guys, put my name on there right now. And yeah, with that performance, he 100% did.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Before we get to you, Neutral, obviously we've got to run through some of these comments. Everyone's so excited about this. And big up Biyenge is obviously saying big up family. Big up to you. And we've obviously got the crew here. And big up to you guys as well. You know, happy birthday to Cuz. Tell her blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Yeah, look, Estrada getting up there. He's been off for a while, but he is an excellent fighter. Obviously, big up to Hakan as well. We're loving your energy as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. And big up to Rico. Rico's obviously excited. England won, so, you know, big up to him, big up to him. But guys, no, Neutral. Let's get straight into it, cunt. Get straight into it, Neutral.
First and foremost, I've got to address the situation that Bam Rodriguez is not American. No. He's about as Mexican as Teofimo Lopez is Honduran, right? So let's get that.
You're not wrong.
Let's get that. Born and bred, Brooklyn born, Teofimo Lopez. Bam, I'm not so sure where he hails from, but American born. They're Americans. Let's go. Let's stick to the facts.
It's his blood. But look, it's his blood, really. His blood is Mexican. We're giving him that.
Listen, I was born and bred in Scotland. I don't pretend to be English. Yeah, you know what I mean? My parents are from Ireland, not from Ireland. My grandparents are from Ireland. I don't pretend to be Irish. Right? Let's get that straight. Scottish through and through. Where you're born is where you're from, is where I say. But however, that's by the by. What we witnessed last night was what I've always said about Bam Rodriguez, and I've had him in my pound for pound rankings now for the past 2 lists that I've done 3 months apart. And I recognised that after the Sonny Edwards win. But I seen it before that at the Carlos Quadras win to win the vacant WBC super flyweight title. Since then, he's gone up in weight to superfly, come down again, fought for titles again, then went back up, and he's a 2-time super flyweight champion for the WBC. So this is a remarkable feat. I seen it a long time ago, and it slightly annoys me that people now just think that Bam Rodriguez is a pound for pound. But, you know, the American market is full of upmarket average boxers who are getting far more attention than the likes of a pound for pound Bam Rodriguez. You know, for me, far exceeds the skill sets of a Devin Haney or a Tank, for instance. They, you know, for me, they've got limited capabilities when it comes to overall boxing. You know, Tank's a knockout merchant, but he's not the best boxer.
Yeah.
You've got Shakur Stevenson, great, brilliant boxer, but he's no power puncher. So, you know, you take all these faculties about every single boxer, and then you start looking at style matchups, and then you can say, well, these guys can be beat by these guys. When it comes to Bam Rodriguez, I can't see that. Not as Superfly now. He's just beat three-weight world champion in Estrada. He had a 2-year layoff, 18 months, something like that. Inactivity kills. We know that. He was going to lose that fight anyway. I'm surprised it went 7 rounds, as you quite rightly said. He could have had him out there earlier, but I don't think it was going to come by knockout. I was still, them body shots were punishing. And right before he stopped, and I made a point of it, the punishing body shots. And he took one, rode it, and then he took 2 more, and it was the second one of that brace that done the damage, because he swiveled his hips into it. He set himself up beautiful. And so, for me, Rodriguez at 24 has already exceeded probably most of, apart from Terence Crawford, of course, probably what most American boxers are doing right now, and that's why he's my number 6 currently, behind Bivol and Canelo.
Wow, no, big up. And Lucy's obviously saying just before you land Abbas, which is kind of falls in right to what you're saying, Neutral. Look, he's beat. Look at the opponents he's beating here.
Got champions.
Estrada, and he's only 24, like you mentioned, and that is a Hall of Fame shout, definitely. And look, this is going to be really exciting times. Abbas, you need to land on this point.
And it's just interesting to ask you guys a question. So, as I was saying about Inoue, he was dropped for the first time against Neri, and you saw his reaction to being dropped, and it was like, it's all right, I'm calm and composed. When you saw Bam Rodriguez's reaction as well, like, how impressed are you guys with that? Because for me, I would say the second you get dropped, certain things change. For him, it was like, I've been dropped, I've got this still. I know I've been dropped and made probably a little bit of an error. He caught me, it's fine type of thing. So like, I just want to get your reaction to him actually being dropped and then just following on, basically winning and knocking and stopping it. I think it was the next round as well.
Neutral, go for it, brother.
All right. Well, anyone could be caught with a flash knockdown, right? If we go back and examine that punch from Estrada, as Bam walked into it was a left, you know, as he's coming in, bang, left, there's the right, and down it. But it was a flash knockdown, straight back up, smile on his face. Yeah, you got me. Good one, well done. Watch what's going to happen now. And that's the kind of boxer he is. He's got the same mentality as Inoue. But all talk of Bam Rodriguez going up to fight Inoue is just fantasy. And even Bam knows that. It's just not. And I hate these matchups when as soon as somebody wins, you know, Bam, all of a sudden they want them killed going up a weight, you know, £7. For £115, they put on £7. I know Inoue's done it, but that's not for everyone. Not everyone's an Inoue. So it'd be an interesting thing to see. I would suggest that Bam now, 2-weight world champion, would probably go up another weight division, but it's not going to be, you know, it'd be bantamweight, so it's not going to be at Inoue's super bantam. So I think that fight is he's too young, he's too old, if you know what I mean, by the time they would meet at a later date, because Bam's only 24. He's not even got his man body yet, so he's going to be quite comfortable, 115, 118 pounds. So, you know, for a few years to come.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. And just to kind of echo what you're saying with the whole Inoue talks, like, because I know it's been flying away. It's been flying away. Oh, you should move up. But like you said, he's just 24.
He's just got there.
He's not even hit his prime yet. And the craziest thing is, what will happen when he actually hits his prime?
He's going to run out of competition.
He's going to run out of competition because, just to go back to what Abbas was saying about being knocked down, I think it's so powerful when fighters get knocked down because you get to see how their reaction is. And his reaction was, he kind of smirked and laughed, was like, all right, Is this the kind of game we're gonna play? All right, no problem. I'm ready to stop him. And like you said, Abbas, you stopped him later on as well. So that's what just makes this so juicy. I just want to run through some of these comments. Everyone's just getting involved. Thank you so much for getting involved, people. So look, Raz obviously saying Bam Dunes, oh, spectating nerds, what Ruiz did for fat guys, which is a fair comment, of course. You think Bam can hang with no way? Yeah, we've kind of got into all of that, of course. Not right now. Lucy's obviously said it best, of course. She's obviously saying I don't think Bam and Nue happens, and this is obviously a good point as well. Next week they have a unification fight at Bam's weight, Locker versus Martinez, which is obviously going to be an interesting one. That's who Bam should fight next. And Locker has history with him as well because he fought Bam's brother twice and retired him. So this is why I love when Lucy gets involved, because she gives us these little juicy information.
Two quick points. First, the thing you guys say about Inoue, one thing I will say is, we say about Bam being 24, but it also highlights his maturity, because he said that, he goes, guys, it's fantasy. Like, don't be booking stuff like that. Compared to Teofimo Lopez, as much as we respect him, we know he's a bit of an outlandish character. Him calling out your Crawford, saying I'm gonna do this at 147, etc. I can hang with them. There's that maturity with Bam Rodriguez. And also to Lucy's point, I think after the rematch, if they invoke it with Estrada, he will look at that unification fight. If not, it will probably be, let's go straight to unification. Because we know with Eddie, once he's got his star, he's not going to let him sit back. He's going to be like, we're going to keep going. Let's keep going. And credit to that arena in Phoenix. That was full. And like we say, I think even on commentary, they alluded to it. We don't normally get it with boxing. And I've said that in the past. That's why I like the Misfit stuff, because they fill up really quickly. With boxing, we're here probably for the core main event or just even the main event. But that Phoenix arena, wherever they were, that was quite filled quite early on. So credit to them guys as well for being out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was packed to the rim.
Yeah,
packed. Big,
and it was
big auditorium. It was good 20,000 there.
Yeah, and the energy as well. Like we felt it from the screens. We're not obviously there in the States in Arizona to really get the energy, but it just looked good. I like the vibe. I like what Eddie did in terms of the production, matchroom. So you always got to big them up as well. Obviously, Abbas, you've interviewed Eddie a few times as well, and you mentioned it best. I think he's going to hang on to Bam for a very long time. That's a long-term project for him, and I definitely think that there's so many big fights for him in the future, and I just can't wait to see. And Mr. Styles obviously made a good point here. It was like Serrano versus Taylor, because Taylor beat Cindy Serrano, Amanda's sister, prior to their fight. So, look, I love when stories have a backdrop to these as well. And I'll love, for Bam to fight, the winner of next week, of course, man, because it would be a very, very, very interesting one as well. I think it was full early, 43 degrees.
No, but this is the thing, the Americans, and no hate, they have like a different way of calculating temperature. So like for them, like 43 seems very hot here, but it's not our real 43 degrees. I'm not saying, but you know what I mean? It's a different way to calculate the temperature.
I think a British 30 degrees is like an American 50 degrees.
Yeah. No, you're right. You guys are both right, so kind of got to take it with a pinch of salt, man. But no, look, I'm honestly just loving the energy that fight obviously brought to us fans, man, because it was a proper, real good test for Bam. It was a proper test, but let's put out a little point, because we've mentioned it a few times on the show, obviously with Biyenge. You guys have mentioned it on your shows as well, respectfully. Inactivity, did that play a big factor? And will we see the rematch next? Because look, Estrada wants to get straight back in there. You heard him post-conference. He knows what mistakes he made, and he wants to go straight back in there. So would you kind of put that towards more inactivity, or is Bam just on a different level, and regardless, the same thing will happen in the next fight?
Neutral.
I'll throw it over to you both. Yeah.
Well, if I'm to be fair to Estrada, I I said before the fight, inactivity is a killer of your career. And I had no doubts whatsoever that he was not going to make 12 rounds in this fight, due to the fact that he was. I studied him before the fight, because it always interests me when boxers take a very long layoff for one reason or another. And when they come back, I look at the shape, I look at the body language, and his body language was all wrong for me. Just before the fight started, he looked nervous. He's the champion, but he had the mentality of the challenger coming into that fight. He knew of Ban Rodriguez. Everybody knows about Ban Rodriguez. Well, they certainly do now. But he knew of his reputation. So, coming 18 months off a layoff like that and expect to be a pound for pound top 10 is.
But then, Neutral, so to just cut you off, let me just land this quick point, and Abbas is obviously gonna land here. This is where kind of we need to look at boxing as well. So if he's a champion and he's not fought in 18 months, how does a champion hold on to his belt for that long? These are the questions we need to ask, and I want to kind of throw that to both yourselves and the community as well. Like,
it's the same way the Charlos kept their belts for inactivity. There's always little loopholes. There's always ways around it. It is the nasty side of boxing sometimes when it holds up divisions. But when it doesn't, in this case with Bam Rodriguez, it's fine. Like, at the end of the day, we have right now the champion we're meant to have. What I mean by that is a young, active fighter who's openly and actively seeking out unification fights. He will fight whoever he wants to fight. And that's nothing on Estrada, because there's a lot of respect for him in general. But it's, for me, in this type of division, I'm not overly fussed on it. There were divisions like the heavyweight division, which we finally got that settled. The welterweight division was a pain in the arse, apologies for it. But it was. That was the worst thing I can remember for a very long time, because we were clamoring on for that particular fight. But in this case, it's not, for me, too much of an issue. But it's the politics of boxing, where there's always loopholes, there's always ways around it. There's always someone holding 5 belts when they go to the ring, but none of them are world titles, and it will always irritate me when it comes to that as well.
They just want to show what they've won in their career, I guess. So I guess it's one of those ones.
For me, too much of a problem in this particular scenario. But yeah, it's just a nasty world of boxing politics where they find loopholes. Champion in recess, like, come on, either you're a champion or you're not. Let's not just do this. If you can't defend the belt, drop the belt. If you're good enough, you'll make yourself back into that particular position again. But yeah, in this case, it's fine. But yeah, as an overall thing, I think respect to Estrada for what he's done. I think he will push for the rematch. He's in theory got nothing to lose and everything to gain. But I'll echo it, because I do believe, I know this is going to sound crazy because we're a long way away. Dubois is the champion. AJ is the challenger. Be aware for when September 21st hits, because I think we can get something similar in terms of both guys' actual way of looking. I think Dubois, as much as he's the champion, will just be happy to be there. The reason I say that is, if you look at the way the card is built, it's Joshua versus Dubois, but who is actually the champion in this? So, it's going to be a similar thing in my personal humble opinion on that side as well. But yeah, no, I agree with Neutral. You look at Estrada was just very happy to be there and getting the moment. And even when he got the knockdown, he didn't really follow it up, where Bam Rodriguez just laughed at it, like, don't worry, I still got this. It's the aura.
No, definitely. No, I 100% agree with you. And that's why it's such a blessing just having you both, on the show, because we're getting, different perspectives. And yeah, I'm not even going to lie. Now that you mentioned it, because you had to do it, Abbas, man. You had to do it. You mentioned Dubois, AJ. We've not, been on the show and we've spoke about it. So let's have it, man. Guys, obviously, we've got a WhatsApp chat. We do, have this conversation.
Where's Rico? Where is Rico right now?
Where's Rico?
This is a great time for Rico.
This is more of a Rico situation, man. But
let's get that man on here right now.
Let's not get into the ins and outs.
the man who died on the hill with Daniel Dubois over Usyk, and now he's a big Femi fan. Oh, come on, Rico.
Horrible.
Let's have it.
Nah, it is what it is, so they say. But lads,
it's all good fun, ladies and gents. It's all good fun. We rev each other to death here.
All I'm going to say, just quickly, because I know we're hitting 40 minutes and stuff, is
of course we're giving them extra time. Like England.
The moment Deontay Wilder fights Lawrence Okoli and becomes a 2-weight champion, I'm going to be unbearable.
Are you a big Wilder fan, Abbas?
Of course he is. Yes,
of our generation.
My man. Bomb Squad.
Heavyweight champion of our generation. 10 defenses. Tell me a fighter who's done more.
Wow.
Brilliant stuff.
No. That's why I respect. You know, one of the reasons why I absolutely respect everything that Abbas is saying is because he actually has a signed glove from Wilder himself. So this is a proper fan right here. So whatever he's saying,
come on.
I'm putting my hands up, man. So
do you think that
happens? Do you think that fight happens? Because I believe Mr. Styles was kind of giving us updates. He did say that this is something that the WBC are agreeing to do. So big up to Mr. Styles for obviously, putting through that information. Lucy's saying it would be interesting. So Abbas, you as the fan, Wilder fan, would you like to see Wilder fight for a Bridgeweight title, man?
I think as a division, to grow it and get a name like Deontay Wilder in there, honestly, if they can push the WBC, can push it, 100% do it. Like we always say this, and it's funny because even though he fights at heavyweight, when he weighs in, he still weighs in under the Bridgeweight level. So I don't understand. I can see why it should be something that's available as well for me personally. In the heavyweight landscape right now, unfortunately, Deontay Wilder's name's just not there. Like, there's nowhere to really fit him in. Anyone who's fought, sadly, he's lost. The titles are at a particular point where, again, they don't involve him. So, yeah, why not? Why not, at the age that you're in, take that punching power down to Bridgeweight and just let go of that right hand and let go of Malik Scott.
You said it here. Look, this is a proper fan. You're saying it here, neutral. What are you saying? What are you saying about that whole situation?
Obviously, I love the Bomb Squad as to do. He's just a killer in the ring. Getting back to Bridgeweight, I said it after his last defeat. He's too light for heavyweight now. He's got a fantastic opportunity to go to Bridgeweight at 39 years of age and become a WBC champion all over again. But I do believe that, and somebody said it in the comments, Kevin Lerena is Okoli's next opponent. However, Tishenko's there got a WBA belt. Was it the other way around? I can't remember. But, Wilder, he's made for Bridgeweight. 215 pound he coming in his last heavyweight bout. He got battered. He can't do heavyweight no more. But Bridgeweight is open. Lawrence Okoli is no heavyweight. He's a blown up cruiserweight who's come up there now, and it's perfect for Deontay Wilder and the Bomb Squad crew. And I do believe, like Abbas says, he will become a 2-weight world champion and maybe unified as well. So just throw that in for good measure. I'm a big Bomb Squad fan, always have been. Big up to Mr. Biyenge.
No, yeah, you know what? I echo you both, of course. Look, I was a massive fan of Wilder as well. But for me, I agree with Abbas. I just want him to. I do feel that with Wilder, you kind of need him to do what he does best, but not to tweak too much because of his age as well. So the perfect ideal match, I would say the perfect ideal coach I would love him to be with. Obviously, it's not possible. Abbas, you interviewed him. Sugar Hill. I just think he's known for knockouts. He would have been a perfect coach.
I still stand on this. If Tyson Fury didn't have 4 voices in his corner, he would be sitting here as undisputed champion. He just needed that one voice. Sugar Hill would have been undisputed
Abbas is doing it.
But
he's throwing the bait.
Fury saying, "You're up, get up, get about it, get about it, you're up, you're up." I'm like, just
He's
shut
thrown the
up.
bait for us, man.
Shut up.
He's
Yeah,
actually
just
thrown
get Sugar Hill in the corner.
bait.
And we're good
Abbas,
to go.
did you see that video of him stumbling out of the pub
Hey,
on his
listen.
knees? And then he has the cheek to say to Alexander Usyk, get in the gym.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's horrible. That
Come
was,
on.
yeah.
You know my feelings on Tyson Fury. Have a beer, have some food, have a kebab. Just keep the love handles to a minimum, and that's all that matters.
No, he is right.
Yeah.
No. You know what? Abbas is right. I think
He's right.
when Fury is just not lean, because for this fight he came in lean. When he's just normal himself with a bit of love handles, that's Fury that I know. But he came in a bit different, man, for this fight, man. So, but look, Usyk's my guy, man. Unfortunately, and I just knew he was gonna get the job done. But we're now gonna obviously see the second fight, and I think that's gonna be a podcast for another day. I could spend hours talking with you guys, man. But the energy is always great. But look, if there's any sort of final few little points that everyone wants to make, just throw them out there before obviously get to the last bit, the shout outs. And yeah, but no, big up. The energy's been good. Thank you guys for just tuning in to this wonderful special show. The fact that I've got Abbas the man, Eunice, and I've got Sir Jim Watt, aka Neutral, watch along specialist. It's an absolute tremendous honor. But guys, is there any sort of final little points? If there's something that you probably saw online that you thought, you know what, I don't mind just to quickly just run through that. Let's run through it.
We had a good performance from Sonny Edwards last night. Yeah. The cut was unfortunate. He won on a technical decision. So, I would not want to say right now, go for somewhere down the line a Bam Rodriguez rematch, but he has to have some kind of ambition at 118. So, is it 118 or 115? I can't remember which for Sonny. Yeah, it's
Sonny Edwards,
yeah. So, another option is it Gilfy? I can't remember the guy's name. The English boy.
Galal Yafai.
Yafai, yes. Yafai. I think
that's possibly
Lucy
a good matchup
for
Sonny.
Lucy did mention that. She did actually mention that, funny enough, in the chat, that it would be a good fight, Sonny versus Yafai. Big up to Lucy.
Yes, she did. Well done, Lucy. She picked that one
mindset. Yeah, she picked that out early as well.
So yeah, I mean, they're very good. Very good. That's a very good fight, especially for British boxing. Get a good big fight over back in the UK and put it on the big spot.
Can we?
But just go back. I just want to go back to that Wilder situation with Lawrence Okoli. For me, that's going to be a Saudi card. That's going to be a Riyadh season, and I'm pretty sure for me that the good Turkey Al Sheikh will be looking to put that fight on the Fury and AJ card that they'll want to promote next year. So I think there could be a fight next year, 40 years of age, for Deontay Wilder on a Riyadh season card, along with AJ and Tyson Fury. That's when I believe that'll happen.
Oh my days! Look at this point here from Lucy. 3 of the belts at flyweight are vacant. Sonny and Yafai should be going for them, which is true. And big up Thunder Road as well. He wants Prince Patel. Now, big up Thunder Road. I absolutely love that. And a lot of people dislike Prince Patel. Does anyone know why? No, you know what it is? We love him. He's obviously been on the channel.
Do you know what? He's a great lad.
Great. He loves WWE like us, Abbas, man. Like, you seen this kind of post that he puts out there. I think for one of his previous posts, he did like a Triple H theme, and then he's had different themes. I love it, man. So, no, big up to Prince.
And the first Indian world champion ever.
He loves putting that out, which is understandable as well, because why not?
Yeah, no, of course. But lads, obviously we're at the end of the show, of course. But yeah, once again, people, just wanted to big up the community. big up to both these lads as well for taking up their Sunday to just, join us on the show as well. And big up to the whole of the iBoxingHub family. Obviously, Green Diamond Boxing back on Monday. Tuesdays, we've obviously got the Stay Weighed In show featuring Abbas, who's here, and Ray. Wednesdays, we've obviously got the boxing roundup. So Biyenge will be back on the Wednesday. Thursday, we've got the R&R hour with Rico and Ra. Fridays, it's a bit of a mix-up because we've got Abbas doing the crossover, who he actually runs that whole project. And we've got obviously Neutral doing his hard talk as well, which also features a one called Jams as well. So big up to Jams. And then obviously Saturdays, you've seen Neutral's energy. Depending on the watch along, he would obviously do a watch along. Just put on the request. And if Neutral thinks it's a great show, he would obviously request to do it as well. And then Sundays,
throw your request in.
Yes, throw in the requests. If there's any specific requests, please just get involved. And then obviously on Sundays, we're back to do the roundups show.
Can I ask you something quickly before we wrap up?
Let's have it.
Would you ever do a Misfits watch along?
Good question. Very good question.
You can see, by the way, I've folded my arms. I'm in a very uncomfortable position here and answering this question.
Hey, put the request in. When KSI returns in Dublin, put the request in and Newton has to follow through. I'm going to probably be there live. I'm going to...
I tell you what. If the fans want it,
Biyenge's calling for it. Biyenge's calling for it. Misfit watch along. Look, he wants it.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I will.
You're going to be... Just to put
You'll
it
have
out
to
there,
give me a bit of time to
calling,
research people.
You would be calling a 2-on-1 handicap match. I'm just putting it out there. That's what you're going to be calling.
Yeah, he's going to be getting the whole lot, man. So, look, Biyenge wants it. Everyone wants it, man. So, let's have it, man. Let's have it. And obviously, Mr. Styles is saying, love being a part of it. No, thank you so much for just being
Big up, Mr. Styles.
Big up, Mr. Styles. Big up, Lucy. Big up, Biyenge. Big up, Tilly on her birthday as well. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's my cousin there. So, big up to her as well. Big up, Hakam. Big up, everyone in the chat. Thunder Road. Loving the energy.
Offended by the question.
And also people as well. We have to give her a shout out as well. Big up to Aisha as well. She's got her presser interviews out on the channel. So guys, make sure you're tuned in. A lot of stuff going on as well. And Abbas as well is doing a lot in his end as well. So people, thank you so much for the energy and for the support. And this is the end of the show. I didn't think we was going to do an hour. But it's because of you guys, the energy. It's the energy, man. So, no, big up to the people. And, we are out. And I hope you all have a tremendous evening. So, big up to you.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag.